Hey everybody, this is Nick from Mecca Warehouse, and I wanted to talk about a charity stream that I'll be running later this month. I'm really excited about it, but there's a bit of a backstory, and I wanted to make sure you guys are all filled in on the whole thing. So last year, I did my first charity stream. The goal was to build the entire Mackinac core, the P-Bandai set that came out, and to do that entire set in my goal was basically one straight shot. I recognized that I might not be able to go all the way through and have to take some breaks and whatnot. But ultimately I didn't get to. But that stream was to raise money for Charity Water, a great nonprofit organization. We raised $1,000 over the course of the weekend, and that was an amazing thing. But the thing that happened is that during this stream, only a few hours into it actually, my son had an accident. My wife and both my sons were at a friend's house a day or two after Christmas, and they're hanging out, having a good time, and I get a text from my wife, and this text basically says, "Our little one burnt his hand," and at the time I thought nothing really of it. I mean, we all get burns, right? We touch something a little hot, we get a little bit of a burn, we get over it. It's not that big a deal. But not too long later, my wife calls in the middle of the stream. I put everything on mute and stuff and answer the call. And, she's sounding pretty frantic, a little bit agitated, a little bit worried. And, no matter how much they're trying to get him to stop screaming and he's just in a lot of pain, they're pouring water on the burns and stuff. And then I kind of knew something was a little bit up. And soon after, they were on their way to the hospital. I met them there at the ER to find my son basically, a little bit sedated. I don't know what they gave him for pain meds, but he was on something, and my wife just looking really distracted, really, really kind of concerned. His hands, they're wrapping him with gauze and everything, and it turns out that he ended up with second-degree burns on both of his hands. He basically took both his hands and put them on the front glass plate of a gas fireplace. So if you get nothing from any of this, if anything, just make sure you don't have little ones running around with open glass plate fireplaces like that. Make sure they have some sort of screen or something in front of them, because I wouldn't wish this on anybody. And basically the next day, we had an appointment early. The next day we went to Shriners Hospitals for Children, their Boston hospital, and we basically ended up going back every 2 days or so for a month to deal with these burns, and they were they're pretty bad. Really, ultimately, we got lucky. I was so concerned at the time. I was so worried, is he gonna be disfigured? Is his hands gonna work? All that kind of stuff. And thankfully, because he was so young, he was just barely one at the time, and it was the palms of his hands primarily. They healed really, really well, and he's got full use of his hands. You wouldn't be able to tell that he burned his hands unless I told you about it. And so we got really lucky. But through this whole thing, in the back of my mind is, what's all this going to cost? All these hospital visits. We're going like every other day. This isn't going to be cheap. But it's my son. I want to make sure that he heals properly and everything. So I wasn't really focused on how are we going to pay for this, what's going on. And the blessing at the end of it was that Shriners is this donation run hospital. I think they still bill insurance and stuff like that, but they basically take care of kids, and that's their thing, and they do it through donations. So one of the things that I was thinking right at the beginning of this was, wow, this whole thing turns out okay. I want to try to give back. The care was amazing. They're great with the kids, and they do amazing stuff. They do burns. I think they do cleft lip and some orthopedic stuff. There's a whole range of different stuff they do. They've got hospitals all over the US, and they do amazing work, and they do it regardless of whether the families can afford it, because it's run through donations. So I want to give back. And so my plan this year, on the 26th, I'm good at dates. On the 26th this year, that's the day after Christmas. It's a Saturday. I'm going to start at 10 a.m. and I'm going to try to build this perfect grade Gundam GPO1, and I'm going to try to build it in one straight session. And so that's going to be how I raise awareness for this amazing organization and help them hopefully raise some money. Well, there's down below there's a link, and there'll be a link throughout the entire stream, obviously. And my goal is to try to raise $10,000 for them over the course of the day, the weekend, whatever it takes to build this thing. And I hope that you can help me help them. To help sweeten the deal, just like we normally do in any of my other live streams, I'll be giving away a kit. In fact, I'll be giving away one of these as well. It's a $200 kit retail. At least that's what we have it on our website for. So MSRP is definitely higher than that. So nice little prize. You get a chance to win that. We'll be drawing throughout the day, and I should have a whole bunch of other prizes hopefully as well. So ultimately, I hope that you will stop by starting at 10 a.m. Eastern time on Saturday the 26th. I hope you'll tell your friends about it. And I hope that if you've had a good year and you have a little bit of money to spare, that you might throw a little bit to Shriners through our donation page. So thank you for watching. I really hope to see you at some point over the course of that build. And yeah, let's do some good to help this great organization help kids. So thanks, guys.